Wild Willie here. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I made a video some time ago, a long time ago, about my psychosis Kundalini experience, and I titled it both. I titled it both ways for a total intentional reason. Because if you're a mystic, then that's a Kundalini. If you're a skeptic, that's a psychosis. That's why I titled it that way. And in that video, I talk about the download that I received. And if you're looking at it from a mystical perspective, the download that I received could be truthful, could be true, could be real. The difference, the distinction between two types of people, breeders and non-breeders. Okay? Right? But if you're a skeptic, that's going to sound crazy to you. Okay? But I want to explore this idea and this notion that maybe there is distinctly two different people, two different types of people. And I've talked about two different types of people before in many of my videos. I talked about the eaters and the eaten. I'm not looking at it like that today. That's something I like to do in my videos. Take something, look at it from like 100 different ways to try to see if we can glean some new information out of it. I'm not necessarily fixed on any position, other than the positions I've talked about concerning truth, concerning the laws of nature, the mechanisms within you. You know, those are the things that I kind of have more of a fixed position on. But like when we look at a specific conceptual idea, I mean, I'm okay with spinning it around. That's why sometimes I say different things in my videos that aren't necessarily 100% connected to themselves. But I want to think about this notion of breeders and non-breeders. We're not going to call them this, but a breeder and a non-breeder. So I've also been exploring and venturing out into the concepts of flesh and spirit. This has been a constant theme through many of my videos. Flesh and spirit. So this is also a distinction. And you know, we know that the universe is governed by energy. It's operated, it's ruled by energy. Okay, so whoever the creator of that energy is, that doesn't necessarily matter in this video. You know, I talked about that in different videos. But we know it's yin and we know it's yang. And, you know, consciousness, I talk about consciousness a lot on this channel, and form. So consciousness is yang and form is yin, right? So if you think about, so that's like life. And then within life, there's a body and there's a spirit. So the body is still yin, the form, the body, and then the spirit would be yang, right? The effect of the body, right? The essence of the body. So we can see that there is distinction. It's duality, right? Like we can look at duality and we can try to gain a new understanding about people, these things. Originally, I was laying awake all night thinking about this, and I wanted to connect this with how you all shouldn't do drugs. Maybe I'll still go there. I don't know if I'm going to go there or not, but it's interesting, you know. So if you think about body and you think about spirit as a component of you as an individual, you have your body and then you have the spirit of you, which would be the yang aspect of you, right? You wonder if individual people can be more oriented towards earth, body, and then others be more oriented towards spirit, air, or heaven, right? You wonder about that. I wonder about these things all the time. I've wondered about these things ever since I can remember, since I was 17 years old, 20 years. So I think about this because I think about my life, and I think about every choice I've made in my life, and I wonder like why I couldn't have ever made right or better choices for myself. Like I'm 37, I own nothing, I'm in like super huge debt, like I don't have a profession, like I'm divorced, I made every wrong choice. And when I think back to these pivotal moments in my life, I cannot see myself making the other choice. I only ever can see myself making the choice that I made. And I can't go back, so I can't disprove my choices, you know. I couldn't even see myself making them if I wanted to. So, that really makes me question free will. That really right there makes me question free will. Because, I can't go back to see if I could have made the other choice. And also, I don't think I could have made the other choice. Because I didn't have the understanding, I didn't have the knowledge, the intelligence. I didn't have that then. I had to do what I did to gain the knowledge, to gain the understanding, to gain the intelligence, right? I had to make the mistakes. I had to do that. But then you see other people, and you think, wow, man, they got it all together. They got houses, they got jobs and careers and families and wives, and they're happy, and you sit with them, and you're in their space, and it's like, wow, they just get it. They just get this stuff. They know how to do it. They know how to talk to their wives, and then you think, man, what am I missing here? Why can't I be like them? Why can't I just choose to be like those people? Right? If there's no such thing as free will, I can't choose that. I can't choose to be like them because I'm on a different path. I'm on a different trajectory. And see, this is my thought process for why there would be distinctly different types of people. And distinctly different types of people reconnecting to this idea of yin and yang energy in terms of body, earth, and spirit, air, heaven, right? And then trying to connect this. So this is where I'm at. Okay, maybe there's people who are more earthbound. They're more in reality. They're more aligned with body, right? I'm going to work and make a bunch of money instead of give all my money away and be poor and crazy. Yeah, I'm going to get a wife and I'm going to keep her. I'm going to get this car and I'm going to drive this car for 12 years till it stops, 15 years. And I'm going to buy another car. Not 30 cars in 12 years. There's people who are just, oriented that way, in my opinion. And then there's people who are not oriented that way. And so, I'm just trying to think about them. And there's the people that just screw everything up and make all the mistakes. And then I say, well, why? That's my question. Why? And energy is it's impersonal. Energy is impersonal. It's slow or it's fast, okay? It's just impersonal. So let's look at it. Body and spirit. Okay, so body and spirit. So I like to compare, when I think about things like this, I like to compare all my thinking to primitive cultures. Primitive cultures, because they are removed from all the constructions and all the physical junk and all the stuff. They're removed. They're not enslaved. Hooked up to tech. They're different. So I think about this idea of breeders and non-breeders. I think about this in terms of the shaman, and then the tribesmen. And the shaman are in a tribe, so they're a tribesman. But they're a standout, they are a distinct standout individual who helps the tribe. So and the shaman would also probably have kids, but they're different. And they seem closer to me in my thinking, closer connected to the spirit realm. Okay? And then the tribesmen, or maybe the warriors, maybe the war leader. The leader of the tribe, okay. The tribal leader. He's wise. He knows how to govern the group. He knows how to engage in conflicts with other tribes, right? So you see these two distinctions of these people, these archetypes. We'll call them archetypes. You see the warrior, tribal leader, and then you see the shaman. And you see one is more connected to earth. He's more connected to the body. He's more connected in reality. And then the shaman is connected to the spirit. You see what I'm saying? So you have these distinctly different archetypes, these distinctly different types of people. And then I'm judging my own behavior, and I'm trying to be more like this other type of person, and I can't be that person. I am me, and I do what I do. And what I do doesn't make sense to me, but it's what I do. And so I say, okay, I'm a shaman. Well, what's the purpose of that? What's the purpose of being a shaman or a spirit or close to spirit? Well, basically what I think is it ties people into understanding this concept of destiny. right? Like, this is who you are. This is who you came here to be. This is the purpose you came here to fulfill. This is your destiny. You might know things that other people might not know. And they, likewise, know things that you don't know. They know how to hold a job for more than like 1.5 years at a time. They know how to save their money and invest and build up physical things, right? It's not like the difference, like when you attribute value to it, you've corrupted it. That's the alpha, the beta system. When you start thinking like that's it's corrupted. It's no good anymore. It became personal. This is impersonal because we're thinking about energy. And so, there are different destinies. They work together. It's yin and it's yang. You see, that's the whole point. But I'm laying awake and I'm thinking about this stuff, and I'm thinking about drugs. The shaman being the person that's closer to spirit. Now, if you take the body, right, like I was talking about, and you take the body and you break the body up. I'm drawing a person here for us. I didn't plan on doing this. So if this is the person, right, and then the spirit, we'll say, is like the energy body, or the spirit. It's like you can't see it, right? We'll say that's outside, right? There's a border. There's a border in between the physical body and the spiritual body. Certainly in the Mormon religion, they call this the veil. When you take a lot of drugs, psychedelic drugs, you get real familiar with this border. You cross this border. That's why I called it a Kundalini experience in my initial video, because I opened the border from body into spirit. I mean, because this is what we're talking about, breeders and non-breeders. The purpose of a non-breeder would be different than the purpose of a breeder. They would be more spiritual shaman, the spiritual shaman archetype. It wouldn't be the body, tribal warrior, father, leader archetype. That doesn't work because they're not breeders. They're not oriented to being that archetype. So there's a border. There's a border. And if you're, let's say you're the tribal leader, warrior, father, breeder archetype. So this is in body. You exist in the body. That colored in area, that's that. If you're outside, you're closer into that. You're closer into that. You're closer to that border. I don't know if that makes sense. But within the human body, spirit is in the body. And body exists in relation to the spirit world around us. And so the spirit beings, or the shaman archetype, would be closer to the spirit world. They would be able to access that. And I think psychedelic drug use is part of that journey. And I think it's part of the way that archetype of person accesses that information. But when I'm laying awake, I'm thinking, man, I got to tell people not to do this. I got to tell people not to do drugs. And I agree. I don't think you should. I don't think you should, because when you do that, it takes you deeper into spirit. You know what? I was doing really good. You know what? Scratch all that. I don't want to talk about drugs. Don't do drugs. They're bad for your body. Do what you're supposed to do in your life, on your destiny, in your path. I just really wanted to talk about those two archetypes. And I think it's interesting. I might cut that section out, in fact. Anyways, all right, just my thoughts on some things. Until next time, Wild Willie out.